this scary video, two people camping on the Botswana side of the Kagalagadi Transfrontier Park in South Africa received the shock of their life when they stepped out of their tent in the morning and returned to find a lion inside. As the footage begins, we can see them driving up to their tent in their truck when they suddenly spot a lion exit the tent with a pillow in its mouth. It exits their tent and sits next to it. It starts eating away at the soft pillow while languishing in the bushes, leaving both of them shaking and stranded in their vehicle, obviously too scared to come out. The lion, after devouring their pillow, came back into the tent, this time to get their sleeping bag. Maybe it wanted to build a comfy bed for itself. Seeing this, the campers started their truck's ignition and began honking at it. To scare and save their sleeping bag. They can even be seen charging the truck slightly towards it. This did help save their bag, but their camping chair fell prey to the lion and was dragged away into the bushes. After a few minutes of raiding their tent, it did go away, having satisfactorily tried new stuff that day. When the sun came up, the campers did assess the damage it had caused, even noticing a hole in their tent. Guess if they had slept in that night, someone else would have been devoured. In the forests of the surrounding areas of Portland, Oregon, this camper was capturing the routine visit from Ziggy, a deer that has been visiting the area frequently for years. But this particular visit was different, with the deer's focus firmly on the tree line as she was stomping through the backyard. The deer can be seen slowly stomping in the area, as if giving a cautious signal. Then she stops, looks at the camper directly, and starts stomping again, as if to send a message. All of a sudden, it gets scared and bolts into the bushes. Not surprisingly, a black bear appears from the tree line where the deer had been looking all this while. The bear creepily enters the campsite and is curiously smelling around before it is scared away by the campers. But the footage goes a long way in showing interspecies love and solidarity in the face of creepy animal encounters. YouTuber Orenif posted this unsettling video of an elephant entering a campsite near Kauai River in Botswana. Its entry was so sudden that the campers, sitting around a campfire, did not even have time to get up and escape, as that would have surely startled the tusker. They can be seen silently watching the beast, hoping it doesn't develop an interest in them. It calmly walks through the site, checking each tent, possibly for food, and then passes on as if no one was there. The campers, with their hearts in their mouths, can be seen rejoicing and breathing a sigh of relief, as the tusker turns out to be a peaceful one. Their safari just got a whole lot interesting. YouTuber Jackie Cilliers posted this scary footage of lions moving around a campsite in Mabuaseubek Game Reserve, South Africa. The camper couple had already lost a lot of their stuff to hyenas the day before, and they had hung their camping chairs from the roof to protect them. These chairs now had new admirers in the Pride of Lions, 7 of whom were raiding their camp. They begin drinking the water put out for birds and run around with the melons the campers had brought to eat. The campers keep on making low warning sounds to protect their chairs while hiding in their car.
No, hey!
No. Move. Leave those chairs alone.
The video ends abruptly with the pride playing among each other, leaving the camper couple locked in their cars. We do hope they got out safely, with or without their chairs. A man from Long Island was out hiking in the nearby forest when he came across an area which seemed to be blocked off, with trees chopped down and placed as an obstacle on the trail. He initially assumed that these had been placed either as no trespassing signs or to block the wildlife from coming very near to the fire pit nearby, indicating that it is or was a campsite at one point in time. The site is surrounded by hills and the hiker feels it is a bad location to be in, strategically. What freaks him out though are multiple flyers of different missing persons pasted on the trees near the campsite by the local police department. All these missing people belong to different states and have possibly disappeared from this campsite. The hiker laments not bringing a bear spray or a gun on this trail, as he is both curious and scared as to what happened to all these people and how they could go missing from the same campsite. What scares him even more is a cage he spots on the side, made of sticks, and the shovel kept near the fire pit, indicating that the place might be booby-trapped. he gets a feeling that someone might be watching him. Just as he's checking out more missing persons flyers, he hears some voices in the distance and bolts out of the campsite before he too becomes one of the flyers.
Oh shit, I heard voices. We have to get the fuck out of here.
Luckily for him, he was well camouflaged and had a live hiking tracker on him, so if something were to happen to him, at least he could be found. Thankfully though, he does escape to safety, but the mystery surrounding the creepy campsite remains. Francie Loubet was camping in the Kagalagadi Transfrontier Park in Botswana recently when she recorded this incredible video of lionesses licking water off her tent after a downpour overnight. The lionesses can be seen vehemently licking the water off the tent's mesh, even as Francie fearlessly records them, with only a flimsy mesh separating the prey and its predator. The lionesses seem to be in no mood to leave even a drop of water behind as they quench their thirst, leaving Francie scared to death. We can only hope they were not hungry too. A group of campers were out at a campsite when they rushed into their tent on spotting a brown bear heading towards them. They immediately entered their tent and switched on their cameras as they record the hungry bear raiding their food. Even though one of the campers keeps honking from inside the car to scare it away, it does succeed in toppling one of their coolers and stealing some of their food before running away. Even though they lost their food, at least they got to come home in one piece. This eerie footage of a man camping near the woods shows his evening dinner interrupted by a long howl of what seems to be a wolf-like creature from the distance. He immediately stops eating and stares in the direction of the sound, trying to decipher what caused it. He was possibly alone in this site, which is not a good idea, especially if he was in wolf country. We can only imagine what he might have had to hear at night. Freddie Flintoff was alone in the wild in the Okavango Delta when his camp is beset at night with lions, really testing his nerves. Freddie can be seen lying quietly in his tent and recording the ordeal with his night camera while he hears growling sounds all around him. He seems confused as to what he should do in this situation. Multiple animals can be heard panicking due to the lion's presence while he lies quiet, hoping they would pass and mean no harm. The footage ends abruptly and we do not know whether he made it back to civilization safely or not.